destiny of two great teams will be determined tonight here at Mansion Park in Altoona, Pennsylvania at the District 6 Class 2A championship game pitting the Rams of Richland against the Rams of Ligonier Valley. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Joe Putnam, joined once again by Sam Stroh. This is the WHVL Game of the Week presented by Geisinger. And what a game we have, Sam. Two top 5 teams. Ligonier Valley ranked second in the state in 2A, and Richland ranked number 5 according to the PA Football News rankings, meeting for the second consecutive year here in this district title game. Ligonier Valley came out on the short end of the stick last year in this state game, a 21-12 loss at the hands of Richland, but Ligonier Valley is looking for revenge in what may well be their last District 6 game ever, and they've got a lot of weapons, particularly our Ace Hardware State College player to watch in this game, Kiri Miller.
Well, Joe, the fans are going to love this guy because he is a battering ram. He'll run over, under, around, and through you. He's quick. He makes great cuts. He has a terrific spin move. And what I like best is he gets north-south in a hurry. All that adds up to 1,700 yards rushing for the year, 31 touchdowns, a 175 per game average. He's going to find this sledding getting a lot tougher tonight, though, against Richland. How much tougher will be a determining factor in this ball game.
Meanwhile, Richland, like Ligonier Valley, undefeated this season. Richland, number 1 seed in this District 6 tournament. They've got lots of weapons as well, particularly our Ace Hardware State College player to watch for the other Rams, that sophomore quarterback, Kellen Stahl.
Well, I call Kellen Stahl the stat machine. He's got so many stats I had to pick and choose which ones I wanted to use tonight. So how about these? 2,400 yards in the air, 62.5 completion percentage, 36-3 touchdown to interception ratio. That's 12-1. A 130 QBR, and oh, did I mention he can run the ball pretty well too. Quick feet, he's got a great ball, he's deadly accurate. If I can find one thing wrong with him, is that sometimes when he faces pressure, he tends to throw off his back foot, which can lead to interceptions. And he's going to see pressure tonight, Joe. How he handles that will go a long way into how this game's going to turn out.
What a matchup we have for you tonight. Richland, Ligonier Valley for the district title. Josh Sperber joins us from the sidelines, and we'll have the opening kickoff right after this here on the WHVL Game of the Week, presented by Geisinger.
It doesn't take long to become addicted to opioids. 13 Pennsylvanians die from them every day. Geisinger is committed to ending opioid addiction with both prevention and treatment. In the last 3 years, we've reduced the amount of opioids we prescribe by 50%, and we've opened 4 medication-assisted treatment centers across the state to help patients recover from addiction. Learn more at geisinger.org/have enough.
Warrior Street 22, we've got credit just for you, so you're guaranteed approved. Royers 322.
Looking for a car but can't get credit? Royers has yours and we'll see that you get it. If you got an income and something down, you're approved and you're driving around.
Royers 322. We've got credit just for you, so you're guaranteed approved. Royers 322. Yes, you're guaranteed approved. Royers 322.
Centre County is where you work. It's where you play. It's where you live. Stay better informed about the community you love through a subscription to the Centre Daily Times. It's your go-to media source for local coverage from journalists who live and breathe this community, just like you do. Visit centerdaily.com/subscribe today.
The anticipation builds here at Mansion Park in Altoona. Ligonier Valley and Richmond playing for the District 6 Class 2A title. I'm Joe Putnam along with Sam Stroh. The third member of our broadcast team is Josh Sperber. He's down the sidelines with more. Josh?
Joe, a matchup I really like in this game is the quarterbacks. You talked about Kellen Stahl in the open, but a dual threat is a guy that Ligonier Valley has as well. Sam Sheeter, he can line up as a running back. He's played many positions in his time with Ligonier Valley. And you talked about Kellen Stahl. Coach Beidel said that his connection with Caleb Burke is something that Ligonier Valley absolutely must stop if they want to come home with that 2A championship trophy.
Thanks very much, Josh. And now, leading into that, our Blaze Alexander keys to the game, starting with Ligonier Valley, the number 2 seed in District 6. Sam?
Well, the keys for Ligonier Valley are simply this one, an old song, laying it on the line. They got to lay it on to their offensive and defensive lines to control this game. Neutralize the target being Caleb Burke. They have to neutralize him and limit the touches he gets. And finally, it's Miller time. They got to get Kerry Miller moving, get him a lot of yards, let him do some things on defense also.
And he'll get the ball to start. Ligonier Valley won the toss, elected to receive. Now the Blaze Alexander keys to the game for the #1 seed, Richland.
Well, there's an old TV show called Burke's Law. And in this case, Calvin Burke, if he can get, or Caleb Burke, rather, if he can get it going and can get the ball to him, that will be a big key for them. No stalling tactics. Kellen Stahl's got to have himself a big game tonight. And the last one, it's not Miller time here. They have got to stop Mr. Miller. They cannot let him run wild.
Richland is the top seed, acting as the home team. Both of these teams unbeaten. Richland 11-0, Ligonier Valley 12-0. Richland got the bye in the first round of the playoffs as the #1 seed. Ligonier Valley easily won its first round game against Shamokin, then had to edge out Bellwood Antis. Our officials for this evening's game, Denny Gramling there is our referee. He is equipped with a microphone tonight. Corey Thays is the umpire. Chuck Terrick, the head linesman. Don Moss, the line judge. Steve Yasinoski is the field judge. And Tony Waranovich is the side judge. Six-man crew here tonight for this district title game. We are so glad to have it here for you here on the WHVL Game of the Week, presented by Geisinger. Can't thank Geisinger enough, Sam, for all the help that they provided us and the assistance in providing the game of the week throughout this season.
Yeah, they've been huge for us this year, Joe. My wife's a proud Geisinger employee, too, so that's always nice for me. Can't wait to see this one. I hope this game lives up to the billing and all the hype, and I hope Geisinger gets a good game out of this.
The kicker for Richland for kickoffs will be Colin Passio, a senior. You see him on the right, number 97, and Richland does not kick it all together that deep. We're going to see, Sam, two teams tonight who really don't kick it deep all that often. They try to angle it more.
What we're talking about with Coach Beidel was he said what scares him about this is, they can pop it up above your first line and get it in there so that they can pick it up. Or, if they catch you moving guys up, then they can kick it deep over your head. They do a lot of different funky things with their special teams. And it's a big concern for Ligonier Valley, how they field kicks and how they return kicks.
Passio with a run up, and this one is going at Kerry Miller. He'll take it from the 13. Miller angle trying to go to the far side. It wriggles out of a tackle at the 20, but then is hemmed in and brought down by several different Richland Rams. The offensive starters are presented by Carnes Equipment, and here they are for Ligonier Valley. Wiley Spiker, Mike Petroff, Jude Grzinski, Alex Torrance, Christian Jablonski. 3 Division I linemen, Spiker, Petroff, and Jablonski, all headed to the next level. Backs and receivers, Cage Dowden's a big-time tight end. John Beer, Matthew Marinchak, the receivers. We talked about Kerry Miller. And, of course, down the tight end, we'll also see Aiden Kelly at fullback. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for Ligonier Valley. Operating out of the pistol, and the give is to Miller. And Miller cuts it off left end and runs right into the backer that time. Coming up to make the stop, showing safety, Alan Mangus. A pickup of about 6 there as we'll take a look at Sam Sheeter. Here momentarily you see Kerry Miller there. There's Sam Sheeter. He's a senior quarterback, dual threat, 1,790 yards. Sam, 20 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for Sheeter, who is a bit of a dual threat.
Yeah, well, if it would have been for all of Kellen Stahl's stats, we would have been talking a lot more about Sheeter.
Give to Miller again, and he runs straight into the teeth of the defense. Bryce Batch, a junior defensive end, number 63, first man on the scene. It will set up a 3rd and call it about 3 for Richland.
What Ligonier Valley wants to do is they're trying to run some kind of really zone read option type concepts along with their zone schemes and their power schemes. And they're looking to leave certain people unblocked, and they're looking to attack at a certain linebacker in this game. So we'll see how this plays out here on 3rd down and short what they do with the ball.
The winner of this game gets the District 6 title. Motion man is John Beard. He'll cut it back out. Throwing, Sheeter, lost it, looking for Beard, too far for him, incomplete. Closest man to it was Caleb Burke on the outside. And we'll take a quick look at the Richland defensive starters. Connor Rager, Aiden Thomas, Brock Batch up front. Linebackers for Richland, Sables, Jacob and Lucas on the inside, Kobe Bailey, Nathan Canisso on the outside. And in the defensive backfield for Richland, as a 4th and 3 coming up, the defensive starters also presented by Carnes Equipment, by the way, and punting is John Beard. They don't punt much. This is just the 8th punt of the season for Beard. Now motion man, and Beard will kick it away. And waiting back deep is Caleb Burke, but he'll just let it bounce, and it Would have picked up a divot on a natural surface, but on this artificial turf, it's down at the 39 of Richland, which is where the Rams will start 1st and 10.
Well, I'm actually surprised the kick went the way it did, because one of the things we talked about in our meeting with Coach Beidel is that he said he did not want to kick Caleb Burke no matter what. He said they're pretty confident, but there's a difference between being confident and stupid, and he wasn't going to be stupid tonight. So he was going to try and keep the ball away from Burke as much as possible.
A 30-yard punt, and we'll see the Richland offense for the first time. As Ligonier Valley held on to the ball for 1:32 to start the contest. And the sophomore, Kellen Stahl, number 15, waits for the offensive signal. 1st and 10 from the 39. They'll empty the backfield, and the key man is Caleb Burke. He's at the top of the formation. But the pitch goes to Tustin, who lost it, put it on the ground, jumps on top of it at the 34. Richland fortunate there, a loss of 5. And we'll take a quick look at the Richland starters. Presented by Carnes Equipment on the offensive side. Aiden Marshall, Bryce Batch, J.D. Black, Nathan Kniss, and Aiden Thomas up front. Jacob Sable's the running back. Tustin, Burke, and LaRue are the receivers. We'll see Tustin in the backfield fairly often as well. And Kobe Bailey is the tight end. He is the son of head coach Brandon Bailey for the Richland Rams.
Yeah, Tustin is actually their leading rusher. So you'll see him a lot coming across on jets and stuff like that. And there they try to run him high and run a toss.
And they tried the toss there. It didn't quite work out. 2nd and 15. Fake the give. Burke under duress. Ball batted up in the air, and it falls incomplete. Gonda with the pressure. Jablonski, Christian Jablonski, the senior, actually batted the pass. As Gonda was right on the scene. And Kellen Stahl under duress early. Great numbers out of the sophomore, number 15 this season.
Like I said, Joe, he has a tendency to throw off that back foot when there's pressure right in his face, and he kind of backed up and laid it up there. And he got lucky that didn't end up getting picked off.
You see what he's done throwing the football. He has run for 322 yards and an additional 3 touchdowns as well. So a total of 39 offensive TDs.
I did mention he could run, right?
3rd and 15, though, behind the sticks here. Stahl back to throw. Lofts it down the field. He's looking for his man. He's got Trevor Tustin complete into Ligonier Valley territory at the 33, or make it the 32-yard line.
So pretty much they max protected it and went 3 verticals here. And he got that off, and really thought there was time for the secondary to react here. But they don't, and it's a huge pickup. And that's the thing that Ligonier can't let happen. They can't let him get away with those deep balls like that. They're going to have to get to the quarterback if they're going to apply pressure and play man coverage.
Sam Sheeter and Nick Bottle with a tackle after a 34-yard reception for Trevor Tustin. So much attention being paid to Caleb Burke, who's now at the bottom right of your screen. But Tustin might be more wide open, Sam.
Well, they're going to try and double Burke all day, so whoever's got assigned to Tustin is going to have to do a great job.
Quarterback draw. Stahl breaking off left tackle. He's got the first down and more. Knocked out of bounds along the sidelines. Tackle made by Kerry Miller. He'll be ruled out of bounds at the 14-yard line. 17-yard pickup. First down in the Tyrone Ford red zone.
We're going to see the replay here. And they just do a good job breaking to the outside. Got to do a better job tackling on that. Whoever's responsible to set the edge got to do a better job also turning that inside.
1st and 10 at the 14. Again, the first trip for either team to the Tyrone Ford red zone tonight.
So they're going to be in bunch to the top side here, real tight bunch, which gives them a good flanking on the outside. And when we talked again to Coach Beidel at Ligonier, they said that Richland does a lot of this. They do a lot with formation. So see if they don't run to the top side or throw to the bottom here.
And the give is to the back. That's Jacob Sable, and the junior noses forward for a couple. Closed down pretty quickly there.
Yeah, and this is, like I said, this is a big battle between this offensive and defensive lines. And, you know, it'll be tough sledding in there to get any kind of yardage. But you kind of got to set it up and keep hammering away in there, because what's 1 and 2 in the beginning becomes 3 and 4 later on if you can stay with it.
A 2-yard pickup for Jacob Sable on his first carry of the night. And again, right into the middle, Mike Petroff, the senior defensive tackle, 6'2", 275, headed to the Naval Academy. He had the big extra point block that would have tied the game last week against Belwadantis had it gone through. Stahl under duress, gets the pass away, takes a shot.
Hit.
Christian Jablonski was pulling him down. It was Petroff, 54, that came over, laid the lick on, and the pass incomplete. And it'll be 3rd down and 8.
We see again, they got pressure on him in his face, so he kind of chucked that off his back foot again. You got to be careful when you do that. If you throw that into traffic, that could be a pick right away. And, you know, he's not turned the ball over. That's the really, shouldn't say the biggest thing, but it's a huge thing. to go with the touchdowns that he's had this year. So it'd be interesting, to see what happens as this game goes on here if they can't fix that protection a little bit.
You saw Petrov there, number 54. Brandon Bailey, interesting, Richland head coach, telling us before the game, if Mike Petrov were just a little bit taller, he could have written his ticket to any Division I school in the country. Stahl now pitches it back.
Going to be a pass, trick play.
Burke is just going to dump it off, and it's incomplete. He throws it back to Stahl, but he short-armed it just a tad, and it'll be 4th and 8, and decision time for Brandon Bailey and the Richland Rams.
Well, that looked like they drew that up in the backyard, that one. Come in motion, I'm going to toss it to you. I'm going to run back this way. We got routes out here. I'm going to come over here just in case you want to throw it to me.
That was Burke's 6th pass attempt of the year. He's now only 2 for 6, although he has thrown a touchdown. And Richland's offense stays on the field. Adam Facci is a field goal kicker, so is Colin Pasio. They've only tried 2 of them this year. A long of 32. It would be about a 29-yard field goal from here, but they're going to go for it on 4th and 8.
Well, it looks like they've got an uncovered guy here in the middle slot.
Stahl.
And he missed him so far. He's throwing it up for Burke.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Richland.
There's confusion with Ligonier. They had a guy in the slot uncovered, and they weren't sure who was going to cover him, so that left one-on-one in the trip situation with Burke. And obviously the place to go to. If you would have seen the guy in the slot, that was an easy pitch and catch. A little harder the one to Burke, but once you start that confusion and you're one-to-one, he just can't handle him one-on-one. You got to have help over the top.
So on a 4th and 8, Richland gets on the board first. Autumn Facci, who's a star for the girls soccer team here at Richland, on to attempt the PAT. She is 40 for 44 on extra point kicks this year. Burke to hold, Jacob Sable to snap. Placement down, the kick is up, and it is good. 8:01 to go here in the opening quarter. Richland leads Ligonier Valley 7-0. Second possession for Ligonier Valley coming up right after this here on the WHVL Game of the Week, presented by Geisinger.
Blaze Alexander Hyundai Mazda accepts all credit applications. Blaze Alexander Hyundai Mazda has a 99% approval rating with over 25 lending institutions with on-the-spot financing. 0 down monthly payments. Payments starting at $149 a month. Vehicles starting at $59.88 with a warranty. Over 150 pre-owned on location. Service after the sale that's second to none. Blaze Alexander Hyundai Mazda is the place to be. Blaze Alexander Hyundai Mazda, 1703 West College Avenue, in State College.
And remember, tell them Johnny sent you.
Performance you can count on. That's LMR Tire and Service Centers. And Likens Market. At LMR Tire and Service Centers, you get the best prices on brand name tires, and we participate in most tire manufacturers' rebate and incentive programs. Hungry for a great tasting sub on a fresh made roll? Likens Market offers 2 12-inch subs for just $8.98. That's right, 2 for just $8.98.
LMR Tires and Likens Market, your family tire shop and convenience store.
7-0, Richland out in front, each team with a possession so far here in the District 6 Class 2A title game. Well, fans, the time for second guessing is done. It's time to move on to Indiana. The Blue-White Tailgate will have you ready as the Nittany Lions take on the Hoosiers. Steve, Jay, and Todd break down the personnel matchups, and we'll analyze Indiana's blitz package and short passing game in the fill room. Josh goes Slim Shady and asks the rest of the Whiteouts to please stand up. BWT airing tonight at 10 p.m. only here on WHVL. And a reminder, you can also see it tomorrow morning at 10 and 11 a.m. leading into the noon kickoff at Beaver Stadium. Sam, an 8-play, 61-yard drive for Richland. They converted a 3rd and 15 and a 4th and 8 on the drive. And that 4th and 8 play, a 12-yard TD pass from Kellen Stahl to Caleb Burke, his 20th touchdown catch of the year.
Well, in our keys to the game, we said it was either Burke's Law or we said they had to stop him, and being one of the keys so far, they did not do a real good job of stopping him in that first drive. So we'll see what kind of adjustments Ligonier has made to their offense this time, see if they can move the ball, and then when they go on defense again, see if they make any adjustments to covering Caleb Burke.
Kerry Miller back deep again as Colin Pasio will kick it away. He'll try to angle it toward the sideline this time, and it is angled. And taken by Nick Bidu, who drops it and has to jump on top of it at the 20-yard line. A fumble for each side so far, but both have been recovered by the fumbler.
That looks like a sophomore who was kind of nervous. I mean, it was right there. He had it, and all of a sudden he drops it. Got to make those plays.
And you see coming off the field the man who was closing in if he didn't jump on top of it, and that was Tyler Reed, sophomore running back and defensive back. So 1st and 10 for Ligonier Valley from their own 20-yard line. Head coach Roger Beidel, very successful Ligonier Valley squad that has dominated the Heritage Conference. We'll talk a little more later on in the game about where they could potentially be heading after this game. Not just this season, but in years to come. Give is to Kiri Miller, bounces off one man, and then as hard as the ball's on the ground, still loose, but jumping on top of it was Sam Sheeter. Kobe Bailey forced it loose, but Sheeter able to recover for Ligonier Valley.
Richland's doing a nice job up front, neutralizing that big Ligonier Valley line. Not a lot of place to go. Kind of ran it in there, and I didn't really see how it got punched out, but alertly someone jumps on it. Not the start that Ligonier wanted to get out of this game.
And how about Kobe Bailey, the senior, 6'3", 220. He's the outside backer, equal to the task there. Empty the backfield on 2nd and 10. Sheeter, 4-man rush, stifle, the pass incomplete. John Beard had to reach out to his left for that one. Matthew Marinchak waited in behind, but neither could harness it.
Well, he had plenty of time and kind of belabored